if whenever you join us, Won't you join us? Won't you? Will you go to
Won't
lunch?
you?
I am thankful for kickbots, and Twitch bots.
Not Rumble bots.
I don't think I've seen Rumble bots.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a Rumble bot. I see them when I go there to set up tomorrow's show. I see all these people who commented on today's stream, and they were all like bots selling us botness of the body botness.
So they're botanists. Yeah.
Yeah, they are botanists. Yeah,
Okay,
they're
they're
like flowers.
botanists.
I made a breakthrough, an artistic breakthrough in my florals. I don't know. I got a new thing going on where I found I don't know a new thing that it's selling paintings because of a style I've come up with. I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want anybody else stealing my thing because I need the money. But I made a breakthrough. Are you happy for me? Be happy for me. Be thankful.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Have a little mashed potatoes and gravy. Well,
on Monday I was telling Ron, he may not have been listening, so this may be the first time he's actually hearing it. I was telling Ron about a comedian who I paid on Venmo from the recent show, and he's having difficulty. He doesn't know how to use the Venmo, and it got so bad that he just said, "God hates me. Nothing ever works for me." Blah blah blah. Well, now he's so mad. He's like, "No, fuck it. Just leave the money there. I don't care." And it's like, no, if you don't leave my money in limbo, I was trying to use a Venmo chat bot. I said, look, he trying to work with them. I'm just to call them and talk to a real person. He hasn't taken the money out of Venmo, so it's still sitting there. And he's just so mad he doesn't want it. So
wow.
I would like Venmo to send it back to me. But the chat bot says, have him send it back. I'm saying he doesn't know how to use Venmo. And he's so angry that he just says, fuck it. The money's not worth it. Fuck it.
He's a funny old fart, right? He's a boomer.
Yeah, funny old fart. Yeah. Only
how difficult is it to use Boomer? To use Venmo? How difficult is it? It's not. I don't know. It's not hard. You just okay. I don't know.
They make it pretty simple for you.
It's simple. Try.
I was on this payment processing thing called Veeam. With one of the paint party things, and it was taking like 5 days to transfer the funds. I was like, "Why'd you get on Venmo? Venmo's the deal, baby. Just boom, and it goes through." It's like, what?
He was upset. He goes, "I don't know why." He says, "Why don't you just pay me with a check?" And the thing is, when we were there, I think he was just wanting to like get back on the road to head down, at the end of the show or something, because he's, like I said, an old guy. He didn't want to stick around, and he wanted to get on the road. So I said to him, I said, I'm going to pay everybody in, I said, look for something in your Venmo account in the morning, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and so I said, give me your Venmo stuff. And even in the text, the group text, the group chat, I asked everybody for their Venmo, and everybody sent me their Venmo information. He used to have a Venmo account. He just unattached his account from it. So it doesn't send the money anywhere.
I feel like the word Venmo has been said more in the last 60 seconds.
They're a sponsor.
I wish,
but they won't be if they don't give me my fucking money back.
Right. Well, your money, it's his money.
No, it's my money. He doesn't want it anymore.
Well, fuck him now. You paid him. That's it.
No, but the thing is, it came out of my account. It's just sitting there. So, and
I would write him another check.
He won't access it.
He's having trouble accessing it, even when I tried to talk him through it. So, and the thing is, he's one of the guys in the group. I'm trying to schedule another showing, with us at a different venue, and he got mad and left the group. I don't know if I'm going to have to replace my old guy with another old guy.
Oh, well, they're not hard to find. You just go out and.
I think old comedians that are funny are hard to find. I mean, that you can do like 15, 20 minutes. A lot of them are just starting out. They're just retiring, and they're like, I mean, there was a woman that
I can get you a guy who's living in a car in Target parking lot.
No, thank you.
He won't shit on a rock, but he'll do. I don't know.
There's a woman, and Ron might remember her. She was a retired school teacher. She did the Mr. Tongue open mic, and she was like the filthiest person. She had the most foul mouth of anybody on the show. I mean, even the young kids, like the ones that all they do is talk about dicks and pussies in
You
their
know
30s.
Lisa Lampanelli?
Yeah, but yeah, I
So
think she was
I
dirtier
didn't
than
know you
Lisa
did a show
Lampanelli.
with her. I didn't know you did a show with her. That's really cool.
No, this wasn't her. This woman had just retired. She was a teacher, and she was like saving up all of her all of her jokes for that night, I guess. Do you remember her, Ron?
He wasn't even listening to you. He was.
I don't know who exactly you're talking about.
He was watching
Retired
porn.
teacher.
Yeah. Oh well.
Some representative. No, you're lying to me. I followed you because you're being part of. Followed me on Twitter now, where I can't even post anything, because being part of a community that cares deeply about social justice, democracy, and the rule of law, we are stronger together than the forces arrayed against these values. Really? Well, thanks for following me. I'm getting off of there. I'm quitting. Thank you. You follow me as I leave. Follow me out the door. That's what I want to say, but I can't say it.
Some guy, some comedian. They say they're a comedian. Followed me on one of the platforms, maybe Facebook, and so I was like researching, trying to find out if they were real person or not, and they have like 3 pictures. First of all, I have like 40 mutual friends, all comedians, which doesn't mean anything because comedians are sometimes stupid. So I start researching, and there's like no history, no this, no that. Uh, his posts are like from 3 years ago, and they're like pictures of a dog or something. And so I sent a message, and my message just says, "Are you a Robert or a robot?" Because his first name is Robert. I said, "You're a Robert or a robot?" I figured I'd get a response one way or the other. Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. There's so many fake people out of fake profiles. Blah, 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 blah. Robert Wall. You know Robert Wall?
Yeah, I know him personally, real well.
Do you really know him personally?
No.
Oh, yeah, I know people who do know him personally. He's I friend requested him like 4 years ago on Facebook. Yesterday,
If I haven't stolen him from this show, I don't know him.
Oh. But a friend requested him like 4 years ago. Yesterday, I saw he accepted my friend request. We do have people. Elizabeth Croydon is one of his friends. I don't know if he just accepted hers yesterday, but lots of people. But I noticed he did accept a bunch of them. Yes, it's like he just logged on for first time in 4 years and had all these friend requests, and just he hasn't seen my pestering of him to be on my dopey little show in the morning. When he does, he'll probably unfriend me pretty quickly and block me. Last night I went, I don't know, viral. I had a virus. Let's put it that way. On there's this group, Midas Touch, which is the biggest podcast in the world, biggest live streaming network now. Midas Touch. Ben Marsalis started it. It's an anti-Trump movement in the podcasting world. They have a Facebook group. I don't think Ben Marsalis even knows this group exists, but it's a bunch of people who hate Trump. And I reposted something from Twitter. I took a screenshot of a guy from Twitter, a MAGA douchebag, and posted it over there. Got like 1,500 shares. 1,500 people shared it, and like way more responses than I was prepared for. And there's a bad part of that, in that now you're going to get notifications every time somebody likes it, comments it on all the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like, leave me alone. I mean, I like the attention. I like the fact that something I posted actually fucking gravitates to somebody. But oh my God, like
I think at the point they stop notifying you, I think, and they just count them. The only reason why I say that is because I had a couple of things on TikTok. I mean, the first thing that I had that went viral for me I remember it was like 700, and then like a couple of weeks later I look and it's at like 9,000, and I'm like, really? I got something that went to 9,000, and then I'm watching and there's like 10,000, And then it's that, they weren't even notifying me that people were liking it. They were just, the numbers are just going up.
Yeah.
So I guess at some point they're not going to say.
They start grouping them. I get one like Cicely Cuntface and 99 other people like the other
Right,
post.
right, yes, yeah.
Sorry, Cicely. I didn't mean to call you. Well,
If that's the name she uses, that's the name she uses. You don't have to apologize.
I know. I didn't name her that. Blame your grandfather or whoever came up with that name.
Oh, I didn't know that was her given name. I thought that was her social media name.
The nicest guy. It could be. You know what? This is my platform now, and I definitely am going to run for Congress and just bring up. It seems like last time I ran for Congress, my message about dirty money just made things worse. Like that was a message that nobody gave a fuck about.
They thought it was a wish list. They thought it was instructions. They're like, dirty money. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it seems like the dark money in politics has gotten a lot worse since I ran for Congress about 20 years ago. You remember when I ran for Congress like 20 years ago? The nicest guy, who is evil Ian's twin brother, is the evil twin. No, the nice twin. He was getting notifications for 5 years about a tweet he made about Paul McCartney. That'll do it. That Grand Funk reel that I put out, Grand Funk Railroad, gets 2,000 every fucking week. I put it out like 3 years ago now. A short on Grand Funk with AI voice to it, like talking about how the critics hated him every day, and it gets comments every day. Oh, they were a great band. Critics don't know what they're talking about. It's like, dude, give it up already. This is just something I was doing for clicks and views. I mean,
what I don't understand, and this is really annoying to me, and I wish people would stop doing it. If I post a flyer for a show, let's say the show is for the 27th. No, let's say the 28th. Let's say I'm doing a show and it's for the 28th. I have flyers out there on social media. Okay. On the 26th, you can like it. On the 27th, you can like it. On the 28th, you can like it. On the 30th, ignore it. The show is over. Don't fucking like it. Okay. I'm on to the next thing. Okay. I don't need your stupid replies like, looks like it could be a good show. It's like, it was 2 days ago. You didn't share it. You didn't like it then. Sharing it now does not help me.
I didn't see the date, man. I'm sorry.
I like it when people tell you why they can't come to your show.
Oh yeah. Well, the worst though is I can't come because I got my own gig. It's at so and so at this time, and everybody go to that one. It's like they're using your post for a gig announcement to promote their own. I wish I could be there, but I have my own gig. It's 8 o'clock that night at the Crisco Buttermule stage in wherever.
Well, it's funny because I'm sort of a toxic entity among comedians for the most part, at least locally. But after the show we did on the 20th, right? Two of the comedians were posting pictures and talked about the show. And now I'm being inundated with other comedians who want to be my friend now, because someone goes, thanks GD for producing the show, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, don't look, when I have been like on social media for like 11 years. You didn't want to be my friend for 11 fucking years. Don't start now just because I produced a show in your neighborhood. No.
I'm jealous. You've been on social media for 11 years?
Yeah, I started doing social media when 11 years ago.
Wow, I'm jealous because I've been on since 2004. That's 21 years and counting. It's hell. It's hell, and I can't get off it. I should get off it, but I'm like, it's a bad addiction.
I got on it because my wife and I moved to Florida. My mother was still living in Maryland, and I wanted an easier way for her to keep tabs. She just wanted to know what I was up to. So I created a Facebook account so that my mother, could, without having to talk to me, could see what was going on if she was interested, what we're doing and what we were doing in Florida. I was still calling her once a week, but I wasn't going to talk to her every day. So I set up the account, And I reached out to my mother, said, "Mom, I set up a Facebook account so we can keep tabs that way. I mean, I'll still call you and everything, but we can keep tabs from Facebook." And my mother goes, "I don't know how to do Facebook." I said, "Well, we can set it up for you." And I said, "I can talk you through it. It's no big deal." And I said, "I'm GD Fenderson." She said, why don't you use your name? Why don't you use Glenn?" I said, "Because there's 20 Glenn Fendersons already on Facebook, and I didn't think you'd care. You didn't want to find out. You didn't want to take the time to find out which Glenn was your son. So I just used GD Fenderson because that's how I signed my name anyway."
Wow.
Turns out, and my mother never got on Facebook. Never. I sent my cousin over to try to set it up for her, and he goes, "Hey, dude, her computer is like 300 megahertz." She has like 300 megahertz of RAM or something. She's not 300 megabytes. She's not getting on Facebook. It's her computer is like for solitaire only. And my mother says, "The only thing I do on my computer is play solitaire. That's it. That's
I was
the
at
only thing she did."
I was at your mom's house, and I was going to fix her computer. Turns out she's into Latina porn, like unbelievable. I couldn't believe how much Latina porn I found on your mom.
As slow as her computer is, she was getting like one image per day.
Speaking of porn, I've been listening to Jenna's World. It's a weekly podcast that drops on Mondays. And
Jenna who? Jenna Ortega?
No, Jenna Jameson. And it's fascinating. It's really good. The last episode was about a porn star called Savannah, and she was really big in the late 80s, early 90s. And
She got an induction after that.
Fun fact, she met Greg Allman and went on tour with Greg Allman, and he was fucking her. And he was 40 plus, and she was 16 years old.
16, 15?
16. Then they had a 2-year relationship. Then she hit 18, and he got rid of her because she was too old.
Wow. Well, he's from Georgia. He's from Georgia. That tracks.
What's that?
Wasn't he married to Cher?
Yeah.
He was married to Cher.
Cher was over 16 when he married her.
Yeah, but money. He was the Allman Brothers were all spent at that point. I mean, and he was a heroin addict at that point too. So
yeah, he was. They were doing a lot of coke, a lot of heroin, and so she spent a lot of time on his bus and like in his penthouse apartment.
She was buying him heroin. That was basically it. That's a weird.
Well, you mean Cher was buying him heroin, or Savannah was buying him heroin?
Cher. I mean, Savannah didn't have the money.
You don't know that she was in porn, right?
Not at 15.
This is before she was in porn.
Oh,
yeah, she was 16, and he.
Okay, so he was her gateway drug to porn.
Yeah, one of them.
Something like that, right? Wow. Greg Allman, not a good. Listen, sue me. This is not defamation. You're not a good guy. He never was a good guy.
Well, it's just so funny that during those times, like 60s, 70s, even 80s, into the 90s, that people were like okay with old guys fucking teenagers.
Megyn Kelly would say that's a barely legal thing, not pedophilia. It's still kid fucking. It's just you kiddie fucking.
Yeah, but she would feel differently if, let's say, somebody, let's say Ron went over and introduced himself to her 15-year-old daughter and say, I'm going to a swingers party. Want to come?
Yeah, well,
yeah, that would be fucking creepy.
I said that when Megyn Kelly made that statement, because she does have a daughter who's right around that age, like 14, 15. Like, it's okay for somebody else's daughter to be fucking a skeevy 50-year-old man or something, but not your daughter. You're not going to just take her out and say, yeah, sure, go ahead. She's barely legal.
Take her for a test run. Kick the tires.
I think barely is not quite an accurate thing. Almost legal is probably a better way of saying it. That 15, 16 is not barely legal. It's today. Speaking of comedy, you guys were speaking of comedy, weren't you? I think I
don't think Ron and I've ever talked about comedy.
All right, forget it then. Oh, today is the suicide comedian. That's a suicide comedian. Frank King's birthday. Happy birthday, Frank.
Why is he called the suicide comedian?
That's what he is. He's
Yeah, but has he committed to the bit? I mean,
well, to say, when I had him on the show, he what would he said something about he was taking a cab, and he said, he said to the cab driver, he said, when somebody is serious about committing suicide, and the cab driver said to him, "Does it have anything to do with taking a cab?" And so he makes jokes about suicide. Frank, he's a weird dude. He during COVID, he was on a cruise ship that got locked down, and instead of like dealing with it, he jumped overboard and swam to shore.
Oh, so he's the white guy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
He looks like Brett Hume. You remember Brett Hume from ABC?
Oh, that guy?
Wasn't he Fox? Wasn't Brett Hume Fox?
He was on Fox after ABC. Yeah, he started on ABC. He was an ABC.
Okay, because he looks kind of like a Sharpay, right?
Yeah, he's a dick. He's an old.
Well, after Brett Hume died, he went to Fox for a few years.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He was one of these diehard conservative, just stick up the ass, Barney Fife looking dudes with a deep voice. Brett Hume. That's what Frank looks like. Yeah, he felt a little insulted that I told him he looked like Brett Hume. But
speaking of old, I wonder, is Lou Dobbs still alive?
That's a good.
No, I don't think he is. I think he died a few years ago, but he was.
Yes, it's cause of death. As soon as I type in his name, it goes cause of death. 2024.
Undisclosed illness.
Heart condition.
That's it.
Complications. It says he succumbed to complications related to a heart condition.
He succumbed.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Hey, isn't it funny seeing Bill Maher make his transformation into Trumper?
I haven't. No, my wife and I both stopped watching Bill Maher a while ago.
Yeah,
we stopped watching him when he went to Mar-a-Lago. When he went to Mar-a-Lago, I think that was last time. When he went, my wife didn't watch anymore after that, and I think I watched like 10 minutes or so just to hear. I think what he was saying is like, well, when he's not a dick, he's a nice person. Like, when he's not a dick, he's still a dick. He's just not being a dick right now to you.
Oh, he's always been he's always been a world-class dick. But I sat next to him on a plane in 1997, red eye from LA.
You're talking about Bill Maher. I'm talking about Donald Trump.
Oh.
Yeah, Bill Maher went to see Donald Trump, and he said he was a pretty nice guy when he's not being a dick.
No, he's not. But
Bill Maher,
when I saw him first, like he was on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson in the late 80s, and he was bitching about all celebrities who are famous. For why? Why are they famous? They're like, there's no good reason. Anyway, we was going off Danny Thomas. Sammy K or something.
Danny K.
Yeah.
Danny K.
But
Danny K was actually very talented.
Right. And so was Danny Thomas. I mean, you could go down, but he didn't find him talented or funny at all. But he was listening to all these people from his parents' generation. He had no understanding of why they were famous. This is how I feel about Bill Maher. Like, why the fuck does this guy? And it's super rich, by the way, because he
was like he's part owner of the Mets.
1%, yeah.
That's 1% more than I'll ever have.
Right, super rich, no doubt about it. Stanhope told about a party that he had in the Hollywood Hills, and somehow Stanhope went there with his date. She knew him. And he was just like the story about him just being get out of my fucking bathroom or whatever, just an asshole, just a rude fucking dick. But he has become exactly who he was bitching about on Johnny Carson 45 years ago or whatever it was. It's just like, why is he famous? What made him? It was never a good stand-up. I remember seeing a special of his for about 10 minutes. It was like, Is this guy ever going to tell a joke, or is he just going to be like political the whole fucking time?
Now, my wife and I have gone, I think, and she can correct me if she's within earshot. I think my wife and I saw Bill Maher 3 times live.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
must have liked him to go
At
more
one
than
point
once.
we did, yeah.
Was he being funny, or because you just agreed with his politics?
No, he was political and funny-ish. He was funny and political. But I think the last time we saw him, it was not as good as it's almost like he was starting to head downhill a little bit.
Well, he's relying on a team of writers with his dopey show there, and he doesn't doesn't check them to see if they're not stealing. So yeah, I'm not
Oh
calling
my
him a
God!
joke
Speaking of stealing, okay, this is a long time ago. There was a writer on a late night TV show who was consistently taking my stuff and using it on their show the next day. And so I stopped. And so my wife noticed it first. She pointed out, she said, "Didn't you just post that? Didn't you just post that?" And I'm thinking, well, I'm pretty sure that it's, just like mine's coming to the same conclusion. We're talking about the same news story, so why not? So I started doing some test things, and I did a really, really complicated bit, and they did it on that show. Really complicated. You just don't accidentally come across it like that. So
Did it have to do with football and Hi Mom?
no, it was the bit was I did a series of song parodies about political. It was during the primaries.
No,
And
the
I
answer is
did
no.
and I did and I did a bit musical number, and then the next day, a couple of days later, it was on there. It was on the show. So I stopped. I stopped doing it. I stopped. I said I'm not going to let them steal my stuff like that anymore.
Why don't you name names? Why don't we? Because you're being very vague about this.
Yeah.
You don't want to get sued, or you don't want me to get sued. You're being nice to me because you don't want me to be. What?
Well, the point is that
There's a point.
remember was doing the advent calendar here.
Yeah.
It showed up on their show at the day I stopped. When I stopped doing the advent calendar, they started doing it on their. They did it on their show the next day.
Wait, now, is this like a network TV show? Is that what you're talking? Wow, the Advent, and I'll sue. You got to at least text me
because the advent calendar isn't something I can copyright, and they did wait till I was done. They waited till I was done.
Copyright schmoppyright. That's what I say. I don't know if you've heard that expression before. Copyright schmoppyright. It's a big
I think you copyrighted that and trademarked it and registered it. And patented. You also patented it.
It doesn't matter if it's copyrightable. Just a threat alone, we know you stole the shit. That's just enough to make somebody cry and bitch and moan, and that's what we want to happen. That's what we want happening. We got I just got a notice. Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
This show is not suitable for children under the age of 18.
Oh, no. Here you go. BitChute. You've heard of BitChute, right?
Yeah. I was wondering about them. I was thinking about them yesterday.
Oh, well, let me see if I could share this because it's I don't know how we're going to split this up. Let me share it first. It says BitChute has added revenue to your creator account. What does it say here? Where's the fucking email now? I'm clicking back forward. BitChute revenue has been shared with your account. This email is to notify you that revenue has been shared with your account by BitChute and advertising share for the week ending this week, the 23rd November. Blah, 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 blah. And are you ready for the big reveal of how much we made?
14 cents.
14 cents.
Okay.
I'm closer.
2 cents. 2 cents. We got to split that between 3 guys. I'll give you guys a penny each, well, I can't give you a penny because we don't have pennies anymore.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Write me a
Always
check.
screwing
Don't
us
whatever you
over,
do, don't
man.
Venmo it. Don't Venmo it to me. Write me a check.
Yeah.
Always screwing us over. How are we supposed to eat this weekend?
Yeah. Why even bother 2 cents? Why bother? I mean, like at least with like YouTube or something, you have to get to $100 before they even pay you. You know, or
The electricity to send that to you is more than
and to be honest, we haven't streamed to BitChute in over a month at least because
Yeah,
they're
because
broken on that. They do automatically take stuff off my YouTube channel and post it every single day. So that's where the 2 cents came from. I mean, how many views do you think it took for to get that 2 cents? I don't. Not that I have an answer, but how many? What do you think? Maybe
I
100
don't know.
views.
So they take, because I was trying to stream the church show onto them.
It takes the church everything. Well, no, it takes the church shorts that I put on BitChute.
Yeah, but not the Sunday show itself.
Right. If it were on my YouTube channel, they would though. They take everything that I post to YouTube. Everything that's on my YouTube, they're just taking automatically.
Oh, sorry, and the church is not on your YouTube because people was getting notifications and they complained that they were like, I thought this was Coffee with the Dog. This is some church shit.
Right.
I don't want to be notified for this.
Because we don't want to split it on YouTube. I would be happy to put it on my YouTube channel, but then we're splitting it, and then that
No, the reason why I
purpose.
split, I mean, the reason why, because it was on yours, and people were complaining because they were getting notifications Sunday mornings for church, and they were like, I want to sleep late. That's why we stopped doing it on your YouTube, and we did it on my YouTube.
No. We stopped doing it. So I told you to stop doing it so that you would get more views. It would go to you because you don't. I mean, for whatever it is, a handful of views on it, I could take them, but then it's not serving the purpose of getting people to subscribe to your channel so that your channel grows, and that's why that's what I'd be happy to put it back on my channel, and then it will all go to BitChute, and you get over to 70 years, you will get 2 cents. The price of Thanksgiving has gone down 25%. You know why?
It has not gone down.
No, it has gone down. You know why?
Because Trump said so?
No, because people are killing 1/4 of their family. So you kill them, you don't have to feed them. That's why.
Oh, okay.
A lot of murder going on. That's the deal. Because when I was shopping the other day, I was shopping. I had my little apron on, and I was in my high heels, and I was pushing the cart around, and people were throwing up. People were just fucking brutal to each other. I like, get out of my way, that's lifestyle, that's my ham. Like it was insane. It was like something from a dystopian movie where there was only one ham left and 500 people online for it or something. It was crazy.
So it's kind of like the old Cabbage Patch Doll days.
Yeah, except it was ham. The ham patch days.
Ham patch.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have a good ham without cabbage. You know, you got to have ham and cabbage, right?
I don't like anything. You know what? Lasagna, but my mom's dead. The hospital holidays are for lasagna. Every year, oh, you want a turkey? I'll make a lasagna. I don't know how that got to be, but if you're Italian, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, everybody else is having turkey. Yeah, we got lasagna.
It's better than turkey, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. I'd love a good lasagna at Christmas, or instead of turkey. Yeah, I love lasagna.
Are you a cranberry sauce guy?
Not with my lasagna, no.
With the turkey.
Yeah.
Really?
The jelly cranberry.
Yeah.
Not the canned cranberry.
No, not the sauce with the chunks of berry in it.
It's a mold. It's a can mold.
Yeah.
I should have thought of that.
That was always the fun thing at Thanksgiving, being over at my grandmother's, and you open up that can of Ocean Spray cranberry and just hold it upside down. And
Ocean Spray made half their business on that fucking holiday can mold thing. That was it. They do cranberry juice. Mackenzie said I should have thought of that. I'm making a pot roast. I don't understand how something goes from being a oven roast to a pot roast. Like, how do they decide? It looks like the same. If you're in the supermarket, you got your roast beef over here, you got your pot roast right next. They look identical, but one is for a pot and one is to be.
Maybe fat content makes a difference. If you're
I don't know.
if you're roasting it in the oven, you probably want a higher fat content. If you're putting it in a pot, like doing it on the stove, you don't want all that fat, I guess.
I don't know. It's you're guessing, but that's like a legitimate guess. But I don't know. We need clarification. This is why we have this program, so people can educate us on the fat content or roast content or the pot content. The pot content is what we really.
I thought we did the show so we get rich off of the residuals. That's why I thought we were doing the show.
Residuals. I don't know if you call that.
You know, like when you go into syndication.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if you call it residuals in this case. You call it.
Well, I said residual because it looks like we're getting paid with leftover pennies.
Yeah, you know, Rumble hasn't kicked in 2 cents yet. Nor has Kick. I'm thinking we have more views on Kick and Rumble.
Yeah, but most of our views on Kick are bots. I think so.
Does it matter? Does it matter?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough. If I knew
those are the same bots that will be promoting Rush Hour 4.
Rush Hour 4.
Yeah,
they're gonna, apparently Paramount is putting into like pre-production Rush Hour 4
because Trump wanted it. Is that the thing?
Supposedly, yeah.
This is, you know, we're gonna base our fucking production.
And I'm willing to bet Trump has like a cameo in it.
Something, right?
Well, here's the fun part. So, like he said he wants Jackie Chan and all that back. The fun thing is Jackie Chan is very pro-Chinese, like very pro.
He's also very Chinese too.
Yeah, also, I mean, he's all for the government, that Chinese government. So, is it a Chinese propaganda film?
Oh, you know what? It could be transactional. Something he promised Z for some whatever.
Are they still using Chris Tucker as the black guy?
No one knows yet. But considering like whatever, when the last one was 15, 20 years ago, they paid Chris Tucker at that time $30 million to be in the last.
Oh my God, he wasn't worth it then.
So I imagine if that's going to happen, if I'm Chris, I'm going to say, all right, I'll come back for 60 or 70 million.
All these idiots that complain about communism and don't know what it means. When the state is involved in your programming, that's as pretty much state-controlled communist as you can fucking get. That the president of the country is telling entertainment production companies what they should be producing. That sounds like what you're complaining about, what you're afraid of. That's more dangerous than socialism. Oh my God, we can't have socialism. Yeah, well, don't fucking call it a fucking fire department next time your house is on fire. But you know, it's just unbelievable how they're okay with the state running every aspect of their lives as long as it's the fucking cult that they're in. It's just bizarre. They have no, and anything that is, I don't know, progressive, liberal in any way is communist, but actual state-run media, that's not communist. That's democracy, baby. That's capitalism. That's what we love here. They should look these fucking words up before they go using them. I think that's the thing. Anyway, we're going to talk to an author in a little bit about America's Fall from Grace. Do you remember America's Fall from Grace?
You mean the past 30 years?
Or the past?
I was thinking more like 10 or 11 years. It wasn't that bad, you know, because I'd say this to. Well, I used to say this. I don't have any friends, MAGA friends anymore. They're all gone. But in the memories that come up, like there were memories from 2010, 2011, when we were recovering from that great housing bubble. And things were good. We were at gigs. People were out partying together. It was like good times. Like And here's memories with your friends, and you show it to them. These are the people that were complaining about how fucking hellish it was when Obama was president. And like, I was not an Obama guy, but if you look back at our memories, those were fucking good times. Those were the Roaring 20s. We were partying like it was 1999. Prince was there singing for us, and don't you remember that? Oh, it was hell. It was hell. Obamacare it ruined our lives. I don't know. We were having a good time then. The pictures aren't there now. Those venues they're out of business. They're fucking out of business now. Hello. So when you talk about America's fall from grace, I think we were doing good up until July 15th of 2015 when that fucking fat turd came down the escalator. Oh, you got TDS. No, it's true, man. The guy's a fucking piece of shit. He ruined America. America was doing fine up until Donald Trump got into politics. And I thought it was a joke at first because I remembered right after
he'd run like 3 or 4, not run, but he'd
Right.
always say like 3 or 4 times, like, I'm running for president. He's like, yeah, shut up.
What was clear in my mind at the time, the day he announced he was running, was a memory of right after the White House press correspondence dinner where Obama kind of made fun of him.
Yeah.
That he went out and offered $5 million to anybody who could come up with Barack Obama's birth certificate. He was at an airport in New Jersey, and only 5 people showed up. The news people all showed up to cover it, but only 5 citizens showed up. And he was just like doing this big announcement, and you could see the frustration on his face that he was offering this big fucking gotcha. And I think Obama was making some kind of announcement at that time, so all the people were paying attention to that and not to Trump just hitting a. And I thought, so when he announced he was running for president, I was like, this is just like that fucking big press conference he's going to have at Teterboro Airport when nobody showed up. And then somehow, one way or another, those debates happened.
But he learned his lesson from that one. So this one, because when he did this press conference, he paid people to be there. So it looked like there were people interested.
Yeah.
He paid, like, they were all being paid like $50 each.
Right.
So he learned from that.
You're right.
If nothing else, like I said, the man's a thief, he's a liar, he's a cheat, but he does understand how to manipulate the media.
This is what Hitler had too. I mean, you look at the history of Hitler. I'm sorry. I mean, well, here we go. But when Hitler, after the beer hall putsch, he went and got an image consultant, and that's when he was taking pictures of that, all those kind of manipulating image. He is definitely good with that. But he studied that from Mein Kampf, and Hitler talks a lot about understanding media image manipulation and putting out an image that people will believe in. And this is absolutely true if you follow the guy. Like, he's walking out of his building there with the cameras
waving
following.
At nobody.
Yeah, he's waving. Yeah, that's just definitely and coming off planes and waving to nobody. But it's all image. It's all fake. It's all fucking Madison Avenue. He does get that. He's a television born and bred. He was born and bred right in the time of American television taking off, and he understands.
And born in the right town. Born in the right town with just enough money. He was like in the proximity of people who could make a difference. Because I don't think if Trump, even with the money, if he was born and raised in Maine, nobody would have given a fuck.
Yeah.
If he had if he lived in Wyoming, nobody would have given a fuck. But New York, California, New York, LA.
Yeah. But Queens, New York, I don't know. He wasn't born in Manhattan, but Queens, I guess. If you've been to Queens.
Have you been to Queens?
I have a lot lately. I'm doing a lot of pan parties there, and it's pretty seedy. Sorry, Queens, I love you. I'll do more pan parties there. Looking forward to the next one this week. But it's pretty seedy. You drive through there. It's not the Archie Bunker boy the way.
I'm just going to put this out here. McKinsey 305. If you want your comments read, you can't use words that Matt can't pronounce.
I can pronounce he.
Okay. You can't put words in there he can't because
rhetorician. 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 What? Go ahead. You
Yeah.
pronounce that.
So you
You
can't
pronounce
do that. You can't do it.
rhetorician. Go ahead. You pronounce it. Come on, tough guy.
Yeah, I did.
uh, ethos I could pronounce, but rhetorician. I don't know. How would you seriously? How would you pronounce that word? Rhetorician. Is that right?
Oh, I would have said rhetorician. Rhetorician.
Rhetorician.
Yeah, rhetorician.
I know what it means. Pronouncing it is a
Rhetorician.
whole other thing. Like,
Rhetorician.
yeah, rhetorician. Rhetorician.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
rhetorician.
like that phonetical breakdown. Thank you very much. Listen,
Yeah,
I
that's
have.
how you have to put it in the comments. You have to go, he is a rhetorician. He's good at establishing ethos. So
Yeah.
you have to break it down because, yeah.
Ethos. That's like a mint, right? Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
it's a breath
Mentos.
mint. It's a
That's
breath
Mentos.
mint. Yeah.
Uh, because I can't even pronounce a guest name when our guest gets here. Now,
Lacander?
it could
Lacander?
be Locander, it could be Locander, it could be a lot. I don't know, and it's going to be embarrassing. I should tell these publicists do what Mackenzie just did there. Break it down phonetically for me in the booking thing, like how I'm supposed to, uh, yeah, pronounce his name. Anyway, it could be not showing up, right? Isn't that possible?
He's got 4 minutes.
He's got 4 minutes. Do we have 4 minutes? You got 4 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
So
Matt, did you like lose power or something? That's what happened this morning, or
we had a power outage, but then everything in the room wouldn't boot up. Like even the lights wouldn't go on. And I was like, "What the fuck going on?" Because the power came back on, but and when power
was
came
it a
up
fuse or
in the
something?
rest of
Not
the
a
house,
fuse.
no, the
Circuit
power
breaker?
went out in the whole house briefly, like flashed off and back on. And then I came in this room, hit the light switch, nothing came on. I was like, "Uh-oh, what the fuck? It's on in the rest of
No,
the house. What's going on?" And I didn't have to go to the fuse box or anything. Eventually, the lights came back on. But then when I went to start the computers, they give me that little Apple. It's a Sinead O'Connor thing. Sounds like no, but nothing compares to you. That first note of that. That's what Apple has when you start up their computers. And then the Apple, and it would freeze up. Okay, restart it again. Restart it again. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
now, Matt, you said the fuse box. You said you went to the fuse box. Now, Ron, I
Breaker.
know you're over 30. Did you grow up with fuse boxes or circuit breakers?
I didn't. I broke up. Came up with circuit breakers. There was no fuse.
circuit breaker panel. There's
So
fuses
you didn't
in the
have, so
circuit.
you never had fuses. You never had the little fuses in.
I never did, but I still called it a fuse
I mean,
box.
you were young, so you probably never were sent to change a fuse. I mean, I had been. I've changed fuses.
No,
There were houses on my block that had fuses, but we always had breakers, and but I always called it a fuse box, even though I knew it wasn't a fuse box. It was a breaker panel. Same thing.
The house we used to live in Baltimore when I was in elementary school, the first house that I actually went into a basement and dealt with that kind of stuff when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Um, my mother and my father taught me how to change the fuse in the fuse box and how to put the right fuse in. Now, one of the things is if you don't put if the fuse isn't rated high enough, it's just going to blow again. At one point, I think we had 30 amp fuses in like everything. It didn't matter if it was like a 10 amp, you needed a 10 amp fuse or 15. Like, no, we're just tired of shit,
That was the
burning up.
cause of a lot of house fires because people were
Yeah,
putting in
because shit would
big.
overheat and the
Yeah,
fuse box would, yeah.
yeah.
But we didn't have a lot of devices. I mean, we had an air conditioning window unit, and that was like the highest, the thing that drew the biggest. I mean, even when we did Christmas, we didn't have like houses that like a Christmas Story. Once they plug in all the Christmas lights, then everything blows up because they got like everything in one plug. We didn't have that. We didn't have that issue. Well, I take that back. That was why we put the 30 amp fuse in, at least for Christmas.
What issues did you have? You had issues. Don't tell me.
Oh yeah, we had issues. My father was cheating on my mother. My mother drank too much. My brother and my sister used to beat me. Standard issues.
Huh. All right. Paul Lokander, Paul Lokander. He's got 25 seconds to get here. or else? Are
You'll
you?
be penalized.
What does that mean, penal?
Wow.
What does that mean, penalized? Penaled? Does he get? Is that like?
We whack his pee-pee with a stick.
Is that phallic? Yeah, it's phallic. Penalized. All right, I'm just waiting for my next 2 cents to come in from BitChute, and then we can call it a day. No.
So how's your recovery from your influenza B?
Where does this B come from? There's no
That's
B.
what it's called, influenza B. That's what's going around.
Well, it seems like we should be way past B. It's 2025. We should be past Z.
I think they went all the way around, and now they're using like the first 26. They were all lowercase, and now they're going through and now they're using uppercase. So it's uppercase B, not lowercase b.
I just got
And then the next time they're going to go around, they'll come back and they'll actually phonetically spell out the letters. So
And masks don't work.
Oh, well, it sounds like I guess it's here. I just got a emergency email from Columbia Care and Cannabis. Enjoy a huge deal Green Wednesday, but only for a limited time. Yeah, Wednesday. 40% off all flour, 2 brick vapes, 2 for $130. Find 28 grams of flour. Wow. 28 grams. So that's 2 ounce. That's an ounce. So 2 ounces for $300. Yeah, this is a good weekend for stoners. How about that? Neither one of you guys care about these kind of things.
No, Matt, I'm as pure as the driven snow. I don't touch that stuff.
Pure
as the driven snow.
Well, how does I don't know the snow. All right. Let's get to our guest. How about that? Why don't you go for his name and introduce him? Go ahead.
Okay. I have to find the introduction so I can read it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I got it. Paul Locando, which could be Locander, it could be Locander, it could be Locander.
Just keep saying it, and when he sticks his thumb up, you got the right pronunciation.
Yeah. Paul Locander. Okay.
Locander
is a creative storyteller who's, tell Lindsay to give me phonetic spelling.
Locander.
Paul Locander is a creative storyteller whose dramatic thriller screenplay Power and Way has was honored. Boy, I can't even read. As a 2-time.
So it doesn't matter if you get his name right; you're not gonna get any other word right. So go ahead.
Well, what are you, some kind of rhetorician? I was honored. I was. The book was
got a new word
for Nickel Fellowship semifinalist and a winner of the Script Magazine Award. Now reimagined as a novel story, marks a literary debut blending, and also he's got like 9 books in the works here in various states of publishing, finishing, researching.
Well, it's like they say. It's like
blending his passion for. Wait, let me finish this and get done with it. And blending a passion for emotionally charged storytelling with the grit of small-town America, like a place in West Virginia, which is responsible for the fall from grace. He's here now. Paul Locander.
You were right the first time.
Wow. You know what? Am I the only one who's ever had difficulty with that name? Because it seems like it's such an easy name. It's not like a foreign name or anything like this, but
there's been so many mangles on that name. I've given up the count. My brother decided that he'd just throw in the towel and just go with Locander, which no one else does. Okay. So he was the odd sheep of the family anyway.
Okay. One of the reviews I read about the fall, America's fall from grace here. A gripping account of America's fall from grace, a story of runaway violence and salvaging of broken dreams. Is that accurate? An accurate depiction of what this story is?
Yeah, it's a very high level depiction of what the story is. The story itself, at its heart, is really a telling of the emotional disconnect I had with my father over the years. It's both he and I operated on very much different frequencies, and we never really connected, and that actually extracted quite an emotional toll on me. I can't say what it was like on him, but for me, it was I felt like I missed out on a lot of things, and it actually drove some emotional angst. And we've had some remarkable arguments and incidents that are in some ways reflected in the book.
So it's autobiographical novel.
It's semi-autobiographical. The town and the events in the book are fictional. It's backdrop that drives the two characters, and you can almost say they're both protagonists, but it drives them together and forces them to reconcile and really reach a reckoning of the years of disconnect they've had.
Interesting.
Okay, so I have a question about the town itself, Granite Point, because Granite Point is fictional, but it's on the Bluestone River, which is a real river in southern West Virginia.
Yes.
So what towns is Blue Point? I mean, is Granite Point between on the river?
I'm going to leave that to your imagination.
That's
You know, I've been through West Virginia and seen a lot of the small towns, and it's a beautiful state, and the towns have lots of character, lots of personality. So you could almost put it anywhere on the river, anywhere there's a bridge, anywhere there's just natural beauty.
So it's basically like in Deliverance, is what you're saying, and GD is Ned Beatty.
I'm not going to go there. I'm going to leave that to GD to discuss.
All right, you know,
it's not in Kentucky or wherever else.
I think that was in Georgia, actually, but whatever. It doesn't matter. The stuff about the fathers. I mean, most of us. Sorry, Ron. Have had issues with fathers and connection and all that kind of stuff. But the line that got me right away is my father was born Francis Raymond Campbell on a cold West Virginia day in 1930. He claimed to have grown up on the rugged shores of the Bluestone River. Like that almost seemed like you're questioning whether, and now obviously it's a novel and fiction, but the character is questioning whether his father even told the truth about where he was born and was raised.
And that is actual fact. Anytime I would ask my father anything about family, about his past, it would always be either some sort of fictional answer or maybe it was the truth.
Yeah.
He was really cagey with me many times. Probably one of the favorite parables that he told me, and that's actually depicted in some way in the book, is that he claimed he had a concave chest, which is a congenital defect. And I asked at a relatively minor young age, about 10 or 11, I said, "Hey, Dad, where did you get the concave chest?" And he goes, "Oh, I got that when I was a mercenary." You know, we were going through the jungle in Brunei, and I saw a grenade, and I threw myself on it, and it exploded. And, you know, me being 10 or 11 years old, however old I was, didn't really do the math of thinking, well, if you did that, you'd be dead. But he liked to profess that he had this concave chest because it was blown up by a grenade. When in reality, my sister later told me, he's so full of, you know what, is that it was just congenital. But it laid the framework for me not to trust really anything he ever told me.
There you go. When I had Kelly Carlin, the daughter of George Carlin, on the program, I was talking about my father he was a liar. But also like lots of stories like that about me and I didn't even know what is true about my own self, because there are stories I've shared with my audience about me getting abducted by a Chinese family from a racetrack when I was 3 years old. I don't have a clear memory of that, but I've been telling that story as if I know it's true for 60 years now. I have no idea if it's true. And I was talking to Kelly, like, you question your own identity at that point, because everything you've heard from your parents is suspect, right?
Yeah, exactly. We have a relative, and this is also mentioned in the book. Her name is Kitty Bell Brown, and Kitty Bell, from what my father told me, the legend is that she wound up being the first American woman gunslinger somewhere in South America. And I believed it. I thought it was the coolest thing I ever heard of. And I always wished I had met my great aunt, Kitty Bell Brown. And it turns out that I told that story to my sister recently, and she goes, "You're so gullible." She was a teacher, and she came back. I don't know why you listened to Dad as much as you did.
Yeah.
So
But
where were you in the pecking order? Are you the youngest, or I mean, it almost sounds like you're the youngest, but
No, I was actually number 3 in the pecking order.
how many?
out of how many?
Yeah.
4.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Did
so-
the fourth kid get the same lying
same
stuff,
life.
or was it just you?
I hate to say it, it's probably just me, but then again, my younger sister didn't even really pay attention most of the time.
Here's the $60,000 question here. Did it pay off? In other words, did those kind of suspect stories that you were told feed into the imagination that made you a better writer?
Probably. That probably had something to do with it. They also made great things to put into the book.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I'm going through a phase where I'm trying to reframe everything I thought was a negative in my life and looking for the positive in it. And parents lying to you about your identity and where you came from and all of this whole life, it could be looked at as a negative. But in your case, there is a kind of a silver lining. It made you a more creative thinker. Yes, right?
Yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment. My background, my lineage has been on the creative side. My dad was a writer. He wrote
So he
some short.
says. No,
So
no,
he
just teasing.
so he says, "Thank you, GD."
Actually, he didn't say it. He wrote it.
Yeah, well, he did have some. I did see some of the stories, so I would say sort of yes. He was also an artist. My grandfather worked in the advertising industry back in the 30s and 40s. So I think there's a lineage there of creativity. My older brother, who recently passed, he also wrote a novel, which was more on the nonfiction side, but he also had at least the desire to write.
Huh.
Now, with being tomorrow, because if you had done the show, if we'd done the show last week, I wouldn't be asking you this. But since tomorrow's Thanksgiving, are there like Thanksgiving traditions and stuff that you've carried over from your lying father? I mean, I'm sorry, from your childhood to I don't even know where that came from your childhood. That
GD, why don't you just take the sugar coating off of that?
I don't know. That slipped out. I don't even know what that. I am so sorry. I'm going to put myself in timeout later. But are there Thanksgiving traditions that you carried over to your adulthood?
To be honest with you, no. Most of my family is gone now. And so the Thanksgiving traditions that I follow now are primarily due to my very lovely wife and her very welcoming family. And so...
Are they listening now? And that's how you have those superlatives there?
My wife is laughing right now.
No.
And I was sort of assimilated into the family.
Wow.
And they love me, right? No.
Honey, do they love me?
Yeah.
She said absolutely.
Now, at the core of this story is a train wreck.
That is really the backdrop of that's the catalyst that forces the father and son back together. The heart of the story is really the disconnect between the father and the son, and the son's inability to get beyond what he feels to be a obligation to his father. And no matter how rotten his father is to him, he has this obligation, this drive to be there for him, to support him, no matter how toxic it is. And that is really kind of, again, that's the heart of the story. The train accident is, again, what forces them to reconcile.
Wow. Fathers who are there for their sons to support them. This has nothing to do with your story, but on my Facebook memories the other day, a video came up of this guy his son was accused of some kind of murder. Not he did the murder, and he was on the news, and they were just talking to his father, and the father was more upset that people were saying his son was gay than that he just killed people, perpetrator of a brutal murder, and all he was, not my boy, no, not gay, not gay, not gay, you're not gay. Like, let's talk about the murder part. But I think we can all be grateful for a father who was there to support you, whether you're gay or whether you killed somebody or not. I mean, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's with my dad, it was, he came from, he was raised by nothing but women. His father took off on him when he was very, very young, and he never really had a good, positive male role model in his life. And, if, there's a line in the book, if I was born a daughter, I would have had a different relationship with my dad. He just did not know what to do with sons. My older brother really took the brunt of the way my father was raised, and they had some, from what I understand, some rather remarkable disagreements. And by the time I came around, it was more of an ambivalence.
Yeah.
To my father's credit, he never let me go hungry. I had presents for Christmas. I had a roof over my head. He did the basic necessary things a father should do. One of the things I worked out in the book is it's really kind of a two-way street. Not everything was my dad's fault. Some of it was just me. Some of it was his upbringing. Some of it was unrealistic expectations on my part.
Wow.
But what was really interesting is when I wrote the script went through quite a few rounds of producers who really loved the story. And each producer that connected with it, and recently a director and an actor who just fell in love with the script, they had almost identical connections with their dad. And that's what really attached them to the script. And I found that to be really kind of remarkable, because I thought, ignorantly enough, I thought I was the only one who had this disconnect, and it turns out to be something that's quite out there, and it's not even.
I started there. Like, I think most of us can relate. Ron can't because he didn't have a chance to. Sorry, Ron. I don't know how to say this gently, but most of us who had fathers had that experience of. And I wanted to ask you about this. You have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been a positive role model for them?
I try. As in general, yes. But
you're the one. That's the thing. It's like trying. I think my father tried too, and I've been struggling with this for a long time, because you said part of it was me. I don't know if you could take the responsibility for that, but the idea of forgiving parents for their lack of being better parents, because nobody's cut out for that job. It is a tough job, and nobody explains to you how to be a great parent. So I've been dealing with the forgiveness angle of it. I don't know if I claim responsibility for why it was so dysfunctional or that kind of stuff. But I think it goes from generation to generation. If your father was a bad male role model for you, you're going to be a bad example growing up. That's what you're modeling, right? That's
Matt was such a bad parental role model that he screwed up my childhood. That's how bad he was. He was so bad he screwed up my childhood.
Well, it's interesting, GD, is that as a parent who recognized the dysfunction that was going on in my family, and I'm someone who really cares about that, is trying to break the cycle.
Right.
And that is extremely, extremely difficult, because when you've got the lessons that you learn from your parents early on, that tends to naturally carry over in how you're going to parent your children. And that is something I've identified and I've spotted, and it's a fight. It's a daily fight. My children are adults now, but I still catch myself doing some of the things my dad would have done. And
Yeah, absolutely. I
try
I
to
made
break
it.
that.
I literally wound up. I literally sat people down, the kids down, and said, these are the negative patterns in our family, and this is what I want you to avoid. These are the cycles I need for you to break. You know,
Yeah.
that's and I just laid it out. I didn't want, like, because I found out the dysfunction of my family when I was exposed to when I tried to fit into the real world, and then I realized, okay, there's something not right, and I had to fix myself so I could interact with my family. But once I learned all the dysfunctions, I just laid it out there. I didn't say, well, mom's a little different. It's like, no, mom had a drinking problem. And not like, your aunt's eccentric. No, your aunt is the bipolar. She's not
Yeah.
eccentric.
The
She's
drinking problem
bipolar.
was you couldn't keep the glass full enough. Is that the problem?
Yeah, she wasn't an optimist. She was an optimist. The glass was never full enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like with everything that my mom is currently going through, like I've definitely learned a lot about myself from, being around my stepdad more, and with his mild Tourette's and shit like that.
Was your
Mild
stepdad a
Tourette.
positive role model? Positive role model? Would you say model? Would you
When
say?
he wasn't listening to Nazi theme music, yeah, no.
Yeah, and no. Yeah, not yeah. Like GD said, he would listen to German Nazi
Marching
marching
songs and
band
marching,
music.
yeah.
He even bought
Oh,
fucking music for from the Hershey Park Carousel, so you could listen to carousel music.
wow.
That's eccentric. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I think it's all because of his mental and the Tourette's and things like that.
wow.
No, I get it. My son's autistic. My daughter is too. So there's similarities there for sure.
How did you not end up being a stand-up comedian? That's the question.
Me?
Well, yeah, because it seems that I don't know. All this stuff is a very good foundation for going into comedy. Most comedians have this kind of story, a backstory in their lives. It just seems like a natural thing.
The problem probably is I hadn't found yet the humor in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
part of it.
stick around. We will show you what's funny. We will show you about what's funny about your tragedy. No, Paul. In the book, in your book, Kevin, you said you describe him as an ethical union leader, which
Yes.
seems in some circles that's like an oxymoron.
Yes.
But so where does that? Because I'm assuming that Kevin's kind of based on you with the so where does that come from in you, the ethical and the union leader? Because that's, like I said, in some places that's an oxymoron.
So that's a great question. So I'm going to come up with the answer right now. I've been in leadership roles for most of my career, and not in a union, and not in the military, and not in public service, but in business. And to really be a good leader, you need to be ethical, in my opinion. One of the greatest books I ever read was How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a very old book from the 30s.
Yeah.
But as a leadership book, it's spot on, even today. And even in 2025, to me, it's spot on. And anybody that I've led, and leaders who, individuals who wanted to become leaders, I basically I led by example, and I said, if you really want to bring people up, this is how you do it. And you can't be a good business leader if you're unethical. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, and all you have to look is what's going on in Pennsylvania Avenue. But it's that's where the how being ethical came from.
I 99.9% agree with you. It depends on how you measure good business leaders, because I think you
Right.
can be a successful business leader and you can get people to follow you, which is what leadership is all about, without having good ethics. And I think this is part of, you talk about the fall from grace, America's fall from grace, is people are very willing to follow unethical people and adopt their lack of ethics. So I agree with you on what, but you're defining good as in the terms of good versus evil type of not necessarily successful, right?
I, the only example that's coming into my mind right now is that, really good business leaders like Stephen Jobs. He was great, but he was a complete asshole to the people who worked for him.
Right.
And in my opinion, you don't have to be that way. If there's a great line from the movie from I think it's Steve Jobs, where the line is, "You could be gifted and not be an asshole at the same time." It's not binary. It's not one or the other. You could be gifted and a leader.
Right.
Another example is the business leader. I think he's up in Washington. He was running a company and he gave everybody an even salary and himself an even salary. To me, that's leadership by example, and that brings people up and along with them. I personally, I have no interest in being a Steve Jobs. I was confused for him once, but I have no interest in being that. I have no interest in being an Elon Musk. These guys are brilliant, but they're also, unfortunately, assholes.
Yeah. Well, what I agree, and we are in a culture where billionaires seem to be just driven by greed, and these people you talk about ethics and all that kind of stuff. But when I listen to people like Bezos talk, he seems like a good leader in understanding his like he's always the last one to talk in a meeting because he doesn't want people to feel like they have to please the boss, or God forbid the boss disagrees with me and they've heard him say something that they might stifle their ideas. He sounds like he's got good leadership principles, but then again, at the end of the day, he also seems like a greedy bastard who doesn't have all the best ethics in the world and all that stuff. So people are complicated, and that's where I
People
want
are.
to where we get to this idea about America's fall from grace. Do you think the 100,000 foot view here of the message from your novel, and we don't want to give it away, buy the book, but the father son relationship, the male role model for men in particular, that has a lot to do with a lack of real moral clarity.
Yes, there's there's a lot of cases of that. Unfortunately, far more than I ever realized. Uh, so you've got that. You've got the morality, the disintegrating or dissolving morality between fathers and sons, but also between mothers and daughters. I mean, it's just not unique to a father and son dynamic. The fall from grace also includes what happens to these small towns in West Virginia. GD, you sound like you're very familiar with the West Virginia area. And that
He
was
was a Moss
I'm
fan.
from Maryland. I live in Maryland.
where
So,
in Maryland.
I live in Westminster, Maryland.
I live down in Olney.
Oh, okay.
So you're a neighbor. Um, but
Wow, good for you.
West Virginia, and this is one of the, I think one of a great example is that when the coal industry started really drying up, you have all of these prosperous little towns that suddenly became towns on the edge of extinction. And Granite Point in the book is really mostly a railroad town. And when the railroads went through their huge consolidation late in the 20th century, these towns started to basically shrivel. And you got a lot of these little towns through, and GD, I know you've seen them through Pennsylvania, through
Yes.
West Virginia, even through Maryland. You drive through these very, very nice looking towns, and you just wonder, how do these towns even stay alive?
Yeah. There's an old, not that old movie from the '80s called "End of the Line." Wilfred Brimley and Levon Helm, the drummer from the band, called "End of the Line," and it's about the freight trains businesses going and the small towns that do everybody worked for that freight train company, and now it's been taken over by a conglomerate, and how that killed the spirit of the small town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think there's a solution other than, because it feels like all the corporate takeovers of everything we've crossed a line where we can't go back to that life of the small town, depending on one business. Do you think there's any solutions that will get us back to, I don't know, a better time? Can we make America great again?
Yeah. I think, well, be honest with you, I'm on the side where America was always great. America continues to be always great. Current administration aside, in the book, Granite Point reinvents itself as a tourist town, or a town that does, supports cycling. It's a town that supports tourism. What makes Americans great is their resourcefulness. And we as Americans always find a way to somehow land on our feet most of the time. And I think these little towns have found they can find a way to land on their feet. GD, if you've gone up 99 past Altoona and you go up through those mountains up toward Buffalo,
Right.
you see a lot of these little towns that are still hanging on, and some of them are reinventing themselves as tourist destinations, and some have local industry that they keep investing in. So I believe that America's little towns they can find a way to survive by continuing and finding ways to make themselves relevant.
Wow.
I think the biggest challenge they're going to have are the greedy as fuck billionaires.
Yeah.
Because they see these small towns, and they first of all, they go in with their Walmarts and their Targets, and they drive out the businesses, the small businesses that made the town. They give the town its heart. When I go through small towns, I want to go into the mom and pop diner, even the ones that say we don't serve your kind, and and get a taste of Americana. Just what it's like to be there. I don't want to go to a small town and then taste the same Burger King. King. That's
wait.
I
When
think
they
that's
say you're kind, they mean
people who use cash,
unfunny comedians,
people who pay in cash.
Yeah. Oh. All right, I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a few of those towns when I drive south that don't. They're like, you're one of those cash people, aren't you? I'm sorry. Yeah. We don't have room in our register for cash.
I got pennies. I don't know if you know this about me, but I got pennies. I'm holding on to rare currency.
And you try to put your 2 cents in every chance you get.
BitChute put in their 2 cents in this morning.
GD, it's 3 cents now, man. You're not counting the inflation.
Yeah. Well, once we get rid of the pennies, we're gonna have to put our nickel in. It's gonna be a nickel for your thoughts.
Exactly.
I appreciate your optimism there, and you know what? On some level, I try to separate the people, the heart of people. I think people have a goodness, and I listen. I still think if I have my choice, I'm going to live in America. I still do, and I think it's. But the rescuing us from this corporate greed, the billionaire takeover, the dirty money, the power struggle. I had a woman on, an author last week on my evening show, and she wrote a book called "They Could Be Saviors," and it's all about the idea of appealing to their massive egos to say, you know what. Elon Musk wants to be remembered as this guy who brought us to Mars. Instead of that, why don't you try to focus on the idea of the guy who helped save America's problems and global problems here on Earth, like climate change and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You could be a savior. You could put all that stuff into helping humanity and helping America and helping civilization, instead of trying to be remembered for the guy who made us interplanetary. Well, I don't know if we can break through that though. It feels
it's capitalism run amok, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. And it's capitalism and greed of the most powerful makes great media subjects.
Right.
And that's what gets a lot of the airplay. You don't see a lot of you don't see a lot of the people doing the good things and saving, like saving an animal or saving a town, saving a building, or I think you kind of get the drift.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of good towns out there. There's a lot of good people. In a story that recently happened to my wife, she was driving home from Buffalo, and she was up near, I think it was Johnsonburg or somewhere north of 80, and right smack in the middle of MAGA country. And she wound up getting a flat, and she was on the side of the road, and she was on Route 153, I think. And there's not a lot out there except bears and trees. And somebody pulled over and gave her a hand. As some of the diehard MAGA people didn't ask her who she voted for, didn't really care anything about that, but was there to help.
Yeah.
And to me, I find comfort and solace in that, is because deep down inside, except for the fringe, we're all Americans.
Yeah, I hear that, and I do believe in people's hearts. Like if you can just get past the smoke screens and the nonsense that media has them, I want brainwashed into believing that there's scapegoats out there that are the cause of all the problems in the world, and you're not responsible for how difficult life has become, or all that kind of stuff. If you trust on one basis, you'll find good hearts out there. It's just society in general.
I truly believe that. My dad, I know he had a good heart.
Yeah.
Frank in the book, the father in the book, he's got a good heart. A lot of people have different veneers and covers, and some are really nasty when you first talk to them, and then if you dig down deep, you'll find a heart of gold.
Yeah. I want to get into, because our creative process and creativity and the things that spark that are a huge interest of mine. And I love understanding what made people the creative artists they are. And it seemed like you've had this. If you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just this is my imagination about you, knowing you for all of 20 minutes now, is that you had this business background and you wrote a book and you really enjoyed the process, and now you've thrown yourself into authorship, because we see Falling Ohio coming soon. We have Rewind is outlining, and The House on Hollow Road is in research. You're like working on 3 or 4 books at a time now. Have you had like an epiphany, like, this is my life, this is the purpose, this is what I was born to do?
So when I was a kid, I always thought cinematically, and I've always had random film scenes appear in my head. And I never really understood what it was all about, but I knew early on that I had a love for storytelling, mostly on the cinema side. Fast forward quite a bit, I kind of stumbled into IT and have been in the IT industry for 43 odd years now. But I always had a want to tell stories, be involved in cinema. So shortly after I got married, and I could blame my wife for this, but I won't. But all of these, these scenes in my head, I started to really kind of corral them. I was thinking, what am I going to do with these scenes that are just bouncing around in my skull? And I started to lace them together, and that's how my first script came to be. And I really took to screenwriting. It was quite simple to do for me. It's a natural format. It's basically storytelling in shorthand. And I wound up writing 17 scripts over the years, and came close a few times. But during the course of those years, I had some great scripts and some great stories that I consider to be good, and others have really enjoyed. And I decided, why don't I just try to lace these scripts and expand them into a novel, and that's how Power and Way came to be.
I think you need to get into some of these author groups because, first of all, I just want to say that yeah, it would be great to have new ideas made into movies and stuff like this because it seems like they just want to remake old ideas over and over and over again. But
Yes.
for most authors, and I've talked to so many authors, countless authors, they think it's harder to write a script than it is to adapt their novel to a script, and it just seems like for you it's the opposite. Script writing came first, and then the books came second, which is I think more authors need to hear that because I think at the heart of every author is a mind that works cinematically. You write from this movie in your head, you write it
Right.
down, whether it's a novel or a screenplay. You still write, the movie is up here. you
Right.
know,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I was very fortunate with Power and Weight because I've had characters that were very, very vivid, very, very strong. And I got into the state, and you'll hear this from a lot of writers, is that your characters write their own lines.
Yeah.
And I had to, my only problem was not writing fast enough because that just, these characters came alive and they told me what to write.
Yeah, I think there's a good point to that where if you understand the person's psychology and personality, that you don't really have to do a lot of thinking, what would they say? It just becomes a natural of extension of the person that you see in your mind or have created in your mind, rather than thinking what's the logical answer to this dialogue here. It's just who are they, and it just flows out from that. That's a
Yeah, a great example would be when I was working with my editing team, very, very talented team I was working with. They would come up with things that, say, Frank would say, and I would put my foot down and said, Frank wouldn't do that. Frank doesn't say that. Kevin doesn't say that.
Right.
Nobody says that. And I remember having to go round and round with the editing team, again, who are very, very talented, but I had to stay true to the characters because, especially if you understand how stories work, is if one character says or does one little thing in the story, it has a downstream effect throughout
Right.
the remainder of the story.
yeah.
So you also have to make sure the story remains balanced.
Mackenzie says, I've been writing my own novel, and I definitely feel the same way about my characters. Sometimes what I write surprises me. And this is a piece of advice for you, Mackenzie. Don't use the word rhetorician, rhetorician, rhetorician. Don't use
What?
that word. She screwed me up earlier in the program with a word that I could not pronounce, and GD had to throw it in my face like, look how stupid he is. This
All
word
right,
here.
I
GD,
did,
you
no,
do
no,
it.
no, 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 no,
You
no,
say it.
no. I did not say. I
Look
did
how
not.
stupid he is. That's what you
Nope,
said.
nope, nope. That's not a matter of being stupid.
Rhetorician.
Rhetorician. That's pretty it.
All
Pretty
right.
much it. Yeah. Wow.
I never. I did not even. Didn't even imply that you were stupid.
Well,
I
I'm
just
so
said you wouldn't
smart
be
that
able to
I picked up on the
pronounce the
implication.
word, and I was going to say it was because of your glasses. To be honest,
All
I
right,
was
that's
going to
fine.
blame your eyesight that you're just too blurred. You get that many words, they just
Yeah.
blur
Whoa.
together.
Whoa. I almost lost my lunch there for a second. Uh, it seems like this is a part of the creative process I want to ask you about too, because are you able, and for me, it's always been I could work on 3 different paintings, 4 different songs at a time. Are you able to write 3 different books at a time, or work on? Do you have different stories going at the same time? And if so, how do you keep focused to finish one without letting the other stories kind of influence where you're going?
So I tend not to write in parallel. I've done it a couple of times. Only the only reason I did it a couple of times is just to get that scene out of my head so I can focus.
Right.
Or if there's something that's going on that is just pressing that needs to be put down. Because once I put it down on paper, on the screen, it's out of my head and I can focus. The stories that I came up with over the years, and some of them did develop in parallel in my head, and I would at least develop some of them so I can put them aside and have them aside. So when I was finishing the story I was working on, then I can move that aside and move over to a story that was mostly already developed. So you could say it's a little bit of madness. It could be, but it's how to manage that madness and make it efficient.
If it's
Now,
working for you,
do you have like a I'm gonna say a list or a diary of notation of what each character is like or what they may do, or do you have, or can you remember like Kevin always parts his hair on the left? Would you have to write that down, or you just know that Kevin parts his hair on the left?
I just know. Yeah, it's again, the characters wind up getting so developed. They tell me what they're going to do and what they're going to say and it's natural for me to know what they look like, but I really don't write anything ever down.
So if I asked you how Kevin got that scar on his chin, you would know. You would have to go to your sheet and go, "Oh, that's right. He was playing with his dog and he fell in." But he doesn't tell people he was playing with his dog. He tells people that he was defending his sister, or something like that.
Yeah, he was defending his sister from biker clan gang or whatever.
Right, and they had guns and knives, but he walked away with a little scar on his chin.
Yeah, exactly.
all right,
Okay.
I don't know where the hell you were going there. Now you can. I'm totally lost. Where
We were talking. See, artists. See, those of us who are creative, sometimes because we have different characters. I was just wondering if he had to, if he wrote down the traits of his characters, or they just so alive in him that he just knows them that well. That's all.
Yeah,
And those of us who are creative.
Is that a bit?
Not in my mouth, no.
All right. I'm sorry, Paul.
no, it's I generally know who and what they are and what their backgrounds are, but also there's a part of me that thinks if I write it down, it's set in stone, and I want it to be fluid when I actually get to that character and make them dynamic and make them moldable. Which is true to what those characters are.
Now, the character Frank was based on your father.
Yes.
Were there traits in your father that you thought were even too negative to put into Frank, and you just left them out?
The answer is no.
The safe answer. No.
One of the discussions I had with the editing team was, well, nobody would ever do that. I said, wrong. My dad did. This is the way my dad answered. This is the way my dad was. And, that brought up that same question. Is it too negative to put into the book? And I didn't think of it as too negative. I thought it was true to the character.
Wow.
Right. Now, so I didn't mean, now, again, I wasn't trying to insinuate like too negative for the book as much as like maybe trying to protect, your father's real legacy. Like, okay, if I were to write a book about my parents, if I know about it, I'm gonna talk about it.
Right.
That's it, plain and simple. Because otherwise, I am who I am based on my parents. And if I leave out some of that stuff, then it's like, well, I don't understand how he turned out like that.
All right, now we know who to blame.
So, I mean, GD, to your point, there were things that my father had said to others that really didn't make it into the book. Because my dad was, considered himself to be highly educated, even though he didn't have an extensive education. But he carried this snobbery around with him, this arrogance that looked down on people.
Well, he had a concave chest, so obviously it goes with it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just, there were some things that he said to people that I'm aware of that were highly insulting that actually didn't make it into the book. Mostly because there wasn't a place for it. But I guess you could say there were some things that he did on the highly negative side that didn't make it into the book.
Yeah, I was just referring to actual traits and not the minutia.
The problem was, GD, is that my father was an alcoholic. And it was very difficult for me to separate the nastiness of what the alcoholism brought out and who he really was. Most of the time I ever engaged with him was when he was drunk. And so I never really got to see too much of a good side of him.
Right.
So all I had to work with was really kind of more of the drunk side of him and the nastiness that it brought out. And he had a lot of bitterness about him. He was very, very disappointed and angry at a lot of things in the world. And as a son, you naturally think that some of the disappointments in his life, you're the one of the disappointments.
I know with my mom, I used to joke that I was raised by two moms. I had two moms growing up, and my thing was, and I don't mean the fun kind where they were scissoring at night. I mean I had two moms where one was sober and one was. I had the sober mom and the drunk mom. They were the same person, and they had those two people had two different ways of raising me.
Yeah.
My sober mom had one way of raising me. My drunk mom had another way of raising me, and it was kind of hard to reconcile that they were actually the same person when they were so different.
Yeah,
at times.
Slaptail is talking about you now. No, this was before. He was talking about all of us. I'm sorry. But for those people who were keeping score at home, the obligatory mom story from GD is now we've achieved that milestone. I have one more thing I wanted to talk about with you before we let you go. Is Dwayne Walker, who's a creative coach we've had on this program, somebody I admire a lot. He talks about writing for an audience of one, and I'm not sure that this is exactly that, but is your audience young men? Is that who you're writing for? Is that who the audience for this book is, or
the book is written? Well, it was written for an audience of one, myself, but it's also written for anybody who's had their disconnects with their parents. Anybody who has tried to climb that mountain of figuring out who their mother or their father was. That's who really the book is for.
Everybody.
It's for everybody. It's if you really look at it at its heart, and again, somebody on the editing team pointed this out, and she was very accurate, is that this is a coming of age story for an adult.
Wow.
And you just don't have to you don't have to be a kid to have a coming of age moment. And right. The book is very much that. This is a story of Kevin who fights with his father, doesn't understand his father, but he emerges, his arc takes him to a point where he's reconciled with his father and is able to put that baggage down that he's been carrying for decades and move forward.
And no matter what age, anyone can suffer from premature ejaculation.
Yes. We'll leave it like that.
Mackenzie wants to know where can I get the book. The link is in the description. It's actually going across the bottom of the screen right now, right there. It's Locander. .com.
The book is available on Amazon. It's available on Kindle and paperback and in hardcover. And if anybody wants to get an author signed copy, contact me on locander.com and I will be happy to send a copy out.
Excellent. Thank you for your appearance on this program. We appreciate talking to you. And when the next book comes out, do come back and let's talk about that too.
Will do.
What is it? Falling Ohio. Anyway.
Yes, Falling Ohio.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for being here. Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. See you later.
Bye for now.
See ya.
Bye.
What happened? Wait. Thank you. You did that. We'll put the book right in front of Ron's face there. Ron, we had two things happen there. We had the obligatory GD story and Ron's obligatory ejaculation moment. So I think we've covered all the bases here this morning.
We've all come together.
I think we're overdoing it a little bit now. A little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, that's the show. Is that the show, or you guys want to...
Matt, I just want you to know you inspired me.
How?
I know you didn't mean to, but
my rhetorician, rhetorician.
No, we're talking about pennies.
Pennies, yeah.
And I have decided because before the quote for the day calendar that we're putting out in 2026. I was just making up quotes, but I decided to use real quotes now.
What was my quote?
No, it's not your quote. We were talking about pennies, and we don't have pennies.
Penny for your thoughts.
Right. That kind of stuff. Yes.
All right. I have maybe we should be stocking up on pennies. Don't you think? Well, pennies already are devalued, right? They aren't worth what it costs to make them. But if we stock up on them, because scarcity makes things more valuable, right? So wouldn't the smart
that
thing?
is true. The problem is they're only valuable when you go to sell them. If everybody's collecting them, who are you going to sell them to?
No, I get it. So it's like gold. You want to keep it in the safe, but you have it. Your net worth because of money you can't spend that you can't liquefy. Liquefy. Look at me. That determines your net worth, which gives you. Oh, I could take a loan out because I got pennies as collateral. No.
Start collecting nickels now.
Somebody, one of the Trump people, was talking about being able to pay your taxes with Bitcoin. It will make America more solvent because at least it accrues value. It's so I can't understand it. Help me. You know I'm stupid.
It's bullshit. Don't even listen to it. Stop it.
There you go. That's the bottom line. It's bullshit. Don't even listen to it.
Right. It's just fucking bullshit.
Now, how about that for a fucking quote? There you go. It's bullshit. Don't even listen to it.
Well, I'd like to know what Elon is doing with all that data, from the health data to the financial tax data and shit like that.
He's.
Just seeing right here, Elon Musk just dumped a massive China scandal right in Trump's lap, and the American people are the ones in danger. What does that mean? What did he do? Twist and a plot twist straight out of a techno thriller. If techno thrillers starred incompetent billionaires and corrupt presidents, Elon Musk just got busted sneaking 2,000 tons of Chinese electrical transformers straight into the heart of America top secret AI supercomputer, the Pentagon's own AI Colossus. Wow, this is it's definitely discouraging to understand that. First of all, this guy with his teenage obsession with X is it sounds like a teenage boy fucking beating off the fucking nonsense. But he's obsessed with but Colossus, the Foreman project, right?
Yeah, the Foreman project.
Elon Musk built the computer that an AI computer that the Pentagon is basing a lot of stuff on. That's troubling, don't you? Or am I the only one who's not going to be able to sleep tonight because of that and other things?
I didn't think he built the computer though, did he? I thought it was just like this. It was just software shit.
XAI. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it powered by Grok?
Yeah. It's just when I thought we had so much to look forward to, be thankful for, to pass the gravy. Not so much.
You can take comfort in knowing that a lot of families will probably be fighting this Thanksgiving.
Well, that's the forced socialization with people you don't fucking like. That's what the holidays are about. Like, you know that cousin you hate coming over tomorrow? You got to sit next to him.
Yeah, it's got to be weird when your daughters are sitting next to you and you're trying to explain to people why you're pretty cool with a guy being friends with a known, sex trafficker, and there's pictures of him and possibly blew some guys.
Now, did you, in the news, there's a guy in Texas. Actually, he's not from Texas. I think North Carolina. He just got 30-something years because of a picture of a minor, one from Texas.
Right.
Ghislaine Maxwell got 20 years. This guy got 36 years for a picture of one minor. I mean, that's...
Well, the problem is, I get where you're going with this, but the problem for him is he did not have value to trade. In other words, incriminating evidence on rich and powerful people that he could trade.
Yeah, I understand. But
yeah, I mean, if you want to commit crimes in this country, you have to be rich and white.
or at least have dirt on something. Yeah, if you're gonna be a criminal, this is the playbook. Get the dirt on people beforehand. You get all your blackmail and incriminating evidence and pictures of Lindsey Graham taking it up the ass, wearing a dress, calling himself Lady G from a hired male escort. That's what you want in advance before you commit the crime. So you have a get out of jail in 20 years.
But she didn't do any. Okay, she maintains that she pretty much maintains her innocence. You know, like she's the victim. She's saying like she's the victim. She's Epstein's victim.
Right.
She hasn't done anything repentant. She
But
hasn't
the jury
turned
didn't
over
buy
any
it.
names.
The jury didn't buy it, but the judge bought.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is so she got 20 years, and she's not repentant. She didn't, and she's still lying about it.
Right. Because she had
like
pictures of the judge fucking a goat.
Yeah, but she never used that stuff, right?
I don't know. That's how she got the 20 years. What she said to the judge, hey. And the judge said, oh, where'd you get that? And she said, oh, you know, and the judge said, all right, 20 years. How about 20 years? And she said, okay, we'll just hold this picture then for the appeal process. That's right. Right? I got it right.
Yeah.
All right.
I just didn't know it was a goat.
Well, it could have been a sheep. What is the difference between a goat and a sheep? Horns? I don't know. Well, I'm not an animal rhetorician or something. I'm not an animalist. I don't know. I'm not a geologist like Theo Vaughn.
Don't know much about zoology.
I'm not a geologist. Anyway, sheep shave their pussies. That's the difference. I don't know. Sheep have pussies.
Send that to Jackie and see if he likes it.
Oh, by the way, Jackie will be with us Friday. He wanted me to plug this thing. He's got a gig on Saturday. He wants to plug this right now. It's in the comments there. With Rich Harkaway at Catch a Rising Star in Princeton, Carnegie Center, Princeton, on Saturday night. Jackie the Joke Man. He'll be with us on Friday to basically go, GD's gay, ha ha, queer, ha ha.
Okay.
You excited about that?
It's all right, you know.
You love when Jackie calls you queer. Come on.
He's only done it once. Usually he just says
you're deprived.
Usually he says, I'm glad I missed that story.
Remember last time he was here, he was not offended. He was a little nervous because I was talking about Otto and George, and Otto or George, one of the fucking two. I can't tell them apart.
Is that from that Zen thing?
The puppet dude. But I said the N-word, and Jackie turned bright red. He doesn't. He's got a sensitivity to me saying the word. And he didn't say that. Yes, he did say that word. He said it like as loud and clear as you could say it. So I don't know. Maybe whatever. He's got a sensitivity to that. That's all I'm saying. So go see Jackie Saturday night, but he'll be here Friday to preview. He'll call me a queer, and then everybody. He has no problem saying queer. They're a retard. I don't think he has a problem with that. Like words that you're not supposed to say in polite society, but that one, the one that starts with an N there. Ron always says hard R. It doesn't matter if the R is hard.
Yeah, Ron, I have a question about that. Because your wife is of the Latino persuasion
with a hard L.
Yeah, with a hard L. So why is it when you call me a nigger, you don't roll your R's? Why is it like
nigger?
Yeah, nigger. Like they do it in Mexico, they roll the R. How come you don't roll your R
in Mexico?
In Latin-speaking countries, don't they roll their R's? Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, maybe. I thought, like, I don't know what I thought about the rolling the R's, where that came from. I don't know. Because I'm a rhetorician. or something.
We were just wondering why you don't roll your R's when you say
Yeah,
nigger. I don't understand.
you
Is
do
it
it.
a York thing?
Give me an example of how it would sound with a rolled R. I
Yeah,
can't. I can't
I'll
do
get
it.
right on that.
All right. So yeah, you guys enjoy your holiday. I'm gonna go play for the vet. I got 3 shows tomorrow, which
It
is
sounds to me like, first of all, like they can't make you do the shows. I mean, they can say to you, Matt, we're going to throw money at you, do the show, and you can say, well, yeah, but I really like to, but I want to spend my Thanksgiving with my
no, no,
chicken.
no, 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 no. I when we've got a perfect excuse for you not to spend the day with your family. Would you like it? Yeah, I'm in. Well, we got one
That's what
show.
I'm saying. So you're saying I got 3 shows, but like, no, you took 3
I
shows
took all 3.
tomorrow.
Yeah, he went.
Yes.
He said, you could have this one, or this one. I said, can I have all 3? Because and last night, one of the women got in touch with one of the people throwing the event. She said, we're looking forward to Matt's show. Can he start a little earlier? I was like, damn, that ruins my whole day excuse. If you could. If you can, yeah, we could start a little early, but I'm still going long. No, I have to go long enough that I have an excuse not to be home in time.
So all 3 of these are in the same facility, just different rooms?
No, they're in 2 of them are in the same complex, in the VA complex, not the same building at all.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's
then one is 60 miles away. Later on.
But is that after the other 2, or do you have to do one, do the 60
that's
miles,
the
and
late.
come back?
I have the 2 back to back, 10 to 11 and 11 to 12, and then I have a 2 o'clock 60 miles away. And it was supposed to be 2:30 start. Now it's a 2 o'clock start, and I'm fine with that. But I'm gonna go later because I can't be home before like 5, because then I have to fucking
Talk to the chickens?
yeah. I have to pass the gravy. I don't want to pass the gravy. Just bring me home a plate of fucking turkey and gravy.
Now, who taught you? Do you guys carve the turkeys, and who taught you how to carve a turkey?
I try. Nobody ever taught me how. And Stream Lab World, Dream Hub World. What are you showing me there, Stream Hub? Oh, Stream Hub. You trying to sell me? No, not. He's trying. You're just
It
showing
looks
me
like a fish. Is that a fish?
I don't have no idea.
Yeah, I think like a fish.
I think I'll be getting hammered tomorrow watching football.
Hammered?
Hammered.
So, Ron, do you carve the turkey, and who taught you how to do it?
No one taught me how to do it. Sometimes I do, but
How about who rubs Crisco on you and
Calls you butter? Who butters you? No. Who calls
everyone
you a
does.
mule in
It's
your
a tradition.
this is where I miss the Imus in the Morning program, is because they had this every year. Wilfred Brimley would come out and tell you how to stuff the turkey, how to baste your turkey. Wilfred Brimley.
And did he make it sound, when he did it? Did he make it sound sensual? Like
it would fuck the
got to
turkey,
put your
basically, auditorily fuck the turkey, and you would hear it going on the radio, and you would be like, "This is fucking hysterical." The moving image in your head of Wilfred Brimley jumping on top of a turkey and fucking it. It doesn't get funnier than that, right? That's comedy. Or am I wrong? I'm wrong.
Okay. Not if you're the turkey. No, it's not comedy if you're the turkey.
Oh, all right.
Unless the turkey can take a joke and a dick.
Yeah, did the companies just take off on Wednesday this year because of the holiday? Because generally they give you Friday, not
yeah. Usually it's Friday. Like my wife has Thursday and Friday.
Friday.
No, I'm working from home today.
Oh, all right. Be that way. You're working hard. I could see.
Well, I can hear the ticky tick.
Yeah, so get the book. Thanks for being here. I don't know.
You got to buy the book. Everybody buy the book.
You got to buy the book. I have a show tonight.
And when I say buy the book, I don't mean like do it by the law. I mean purchase the book.
That's
not
right.
Buy the book.
I have a show tonight with a guy from Australia who is not a porn star who's going to kill himself.
Well, I think all the good porn stars in Australia have already killed themselves.
We shouldn't make fun of that.
Porn stars in
That's in
Australia?
bad taste. That's in bad taste. To
Oh,
take it back.
the
Say you're sorry.
Reverend had this past weekend was the first time the Reverend actually had one of the deaths that was assisted suicide.
Oh,
And they were twins. They were like in their 80s, and they both decided to do it together.
huh. Is that still a thing since what are Dr. K or what?
Well,
Dr.
they were
K?
in Germany.
So it's legal there?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they have laws that actually supervise it. Now, I had a friend who.
See, they call it euthanasia. Shouldn't they call it youth in Germany?
Well, it depends on the country. It's only euthanasia when they're in Asia. It's youth in Germany when they're in Germany.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend who they moved their mother to California so that they could have them have death with dignity.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there to California. I should be going there, right? Because then I could have death with dignity. Is that where it all happens? That California is a place where we can get death with dignity?
They say California is the place you want to be, so they loaded up the truck and they
Send your mom
assisted suicide.
When you choke on that turkey leg tomorrow, death by dignity.
I don't know. I'm not big on the legs. I don't know. It's kind of a stringy. I don't know. I'm not. You know, I am gonna miss because it's not at my house this year. I am gonna miss the overload of turkey sandwiches for a week and a half after Thanksgiving. But
and the turkey soup and the turkey pudding and the turkey pot pie.
Yeah, the turkey, everything.
One
turkey
thing
cocktails.
I cannot tolerate. Well, we talked about the cranberry thing. I can't tolerate that. But pumpkin pie. Well, it's the pumpkin is not a food. It's a waste. I'm sorry. Get off the pumpkin.
My stepdad has been eating like 2 to 3 pumpkin pies a week for several weeks now.
Well, he's got to get it while they got him, right? Because other than that, you have to get a sweet potato
aunt
pie.
Keeps picking them up.
There's something wrong with people who like pumpkin. I'm sorry.
I don't think so. I like pumpkin pie. I also like sweet potato pie.
I told you. There you go. Something wrong with people who like pumpkin. And there he goes, chiming in. See,
I like pumpkin pie. I also like pumpkin soup.
Yeah, okay, pumpkin.
And butternut squash soup. Butternut squash soup is really good.
Just rub some Crisco on your pumpkin and call it a mule.
Yeah. From, to use that great quote from Ace Ventura, people who enjoy pumpkin should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell.
Wow. And also premature ejaculation. But I want to point out that there's a flaw, a grammatical flaw, a verbal flaw in that saying behind you. Butter me with Crisco. You don't butter me with Crisco. You Crisco me with Crisco. You butter me with butter. There you go. All right. So that's the.
Oh, hey, just a quick note. Speaking of Ace Ventura, for the Ace Ventura fans out there, Udo Kerr died a few days ago.
I don't know who that is.
And if you know Udo, you probably remember him from Ace Ventura. He played the wealthy landowner of the Dolphins.
Oh,
yeah, what a boomer thing to say. That's like a 40-year-old reference, right? 80s movies, Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura was like 90s.
All right, same thing. 80s, 90s, it's all the same. Saying 70s, 80s, 90s, all the same.
Yeah. That guy had a long career, but
60s, 70s,
he's got a great
80s, 90s,
bit part in that movie.
Yeah. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the same thing.
I just want to plug What Makes Us Laugh. That podcast is out. I think there's 4 episodes out there right now. So check it out everywhere that you find your podcast. It's there.
How's it doing? Are you checking the numbers? How's it doing?
I know the first episode, if I heard him right, the first episode had 1,200 downloads in the first couple of days.
Wow. Or because of Alan Katz's name, not because of you. Not because of you.
Look, first of all, look at this. My name is first on the bill, okay?
I don't see anything.
And A.L. Katz, okay? My name is first.
Wow, look at you.
He's just being polite. I'm not the draw. He's the draw. If there's a draw, he's the draw. I'm not the draw.
S1E1, season 1, episode 1.
We're going to make a new flyer. I don't have, because I said to him I was going to.
I hate this idea of seasons in podcast. It's just one season, one endless long. This is like a 13-week. Yeah, well, whatever. Well, why do I even care? Why does that bother me that people want to?
Well, I don't even know how long a season is. I don't know if
Is it maybe because you're emotionally vacant?
Could be, yeah, could be because I've prematurely ejaculated during this program.
There you go.
1,000 times. All right, I'm gonna go baste my butterball. I'm not. I don't even have a butterball to baste. I'm gonna go think about lasagna. That's what I'm gonna do. In the
I'm
meanwhile,
going to call Venmo and see if I can get my money back.
it's not that hard. Well, to get your money back, they're gonna continue to tell you to get him to download it and send it back to you.
Right, and I'm gonna tell Alex says, look, the man is old. He doesn't want anything else to fucking do.
You're old.
No, I'm not old, so old that I can't use Venmo. You don't believe me? Send me some money on Venmo. Go ahead.
That's true. Yeah, test them out. BitChute's gonna send you 2 cents in Venmo, and Venmo will take a 3-cent charge on that.
So I'll owe Venmo a penny.
That's why they're doing this, by the way. They want him to download so they can take a fee, and then him can upload it and then you could get it, and they can take a fee again. Venmo is trying to double dip you. I don't know.
Yeah, I would just tell him, hey, if you want your money, download the fucking app and do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. He's so frustrated. He says, I don't care about the money anymore.
Oh,
he just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. So that means if he hasn't downloaded, that means the money is still there.
It's always going to be there. It's never going to go away. It's going to be.
So they should be able to cancel that and give me my money back.
It's like a cockroach in a nuclear war. It's not going to get exterminated. It's going to be there till the end of time.
There has to be and I know they've had this kind of thing happen before.
Right.
So they have to have a remedy. So I want my money back. And then next time I see him, I can give him a check like he wants.
Threaten Venmo with exposing them on this program. We're going to have a live call, and we're going to air out our grievances with Venmo if they don't make it right. Think that'll work?
I can try. I'm open-minded. I just want my money back.
I heard you were out there. I hope you were open-ended, and by ended, I'm meaning your ass. You're a gaper. You're a gaper, not a groiper, a gaper. All right, let's end this thing. We're over time, and Venmo will be our guest on the show with Jackie the Joke Man Martling on Friday. And wait, before we go, am I setting you up with a bucket for tomorrow? Are you doing a show tomorrow or not? No.
I don't know. I don't think I'm doing one. I know I'm not doing one. My wife.
No show Thursday is what we're
right. No show Thursday. No show Thursday. I mean, because I wasn't going to do it anyway. Myopic Mick was going to do it.
Right.
So I tell him.
I miss Myopic Mick. I haven't talked to him in like ever. But
yeah, he was looking forward to it too. He really was looking forward to it.
Well, he couldn't look backwards to it.
Oh, that's true. He could look backwards to it on Friday, but not today.
Right. All right, so that's the show for you folks. Thanks for bearing with us. Ron, you just talk too much. You are the talkative. Don't you have a story about Gigi's mom before we go? All right, it's time to wrap it up. Don't forget to turn on your radio.
Don't forget to roll your R's when you say nigger.
Or nigger.
to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.